Hello, caregivers, and welcome to It's the Disease, Not the Person. Kim gave us a great overview of Alzheimer's and dementia in our first lesson, and now I'd like to discuss how our own perception and language can shape the care that we provide. Now, whenever I'm doing a staff or volunteer training, I usually start off by asking everybody, what do you know about people with dementia? And almost invariably, I get the same answers. That they can't remember or are forgetful. That they can be aggressive or combative. That they wander. That they're confused. Now, is that really who these people are? These are people who have lived long and full lives. They've had careers, families, and accomplishments. But we seem to forget that, and we reduce them down to the symptoms of their disease. They are not just their dementia. The things that I think of when I think of persons with dementia are almost never mentioned. That they have great stories, that they create beautiful art, that they love music, and that they are caring. If I'm having a bad day or looking a little down, my residents always seem to notice and ask me what's wrong. Are you starting to see how we describe our loved ones and what we focus on might be setting us and them back? We need to be able to honor and respect the person and realize that the challenges that we face are because of the disease. Now, most of us take our brains for granted. If we need to recall something or communicate our needs, we can do so with ease. We understand where we are and why we're there. And we can recognize familiar people and things. Now think of how frustrating and scary it must be for our loved one to not be able to do that. We need to remember that this is a degenerative disease that causes actual physical damage to the brain. By the end of their Alzheimer's journey, the brain will be about a third of the size as it was before. Imagine if you took 2/3 of the parts out of your car. How well do you think it would work? Every aspect of its function would be affected. And that's the same thing that happens to our loved ones. In the early parts, they might be missing the part of the brain that holds that certain word that they can't find. Later, it might be the parts that regulate emotion or let them know that they have to go to the bathroom. And in the end, it will be the part of the brain that controls breathing and heart rate. Your loved one is doing the best that they can with the brain that they have left. Now, we hear a lot about behaviors people experiencing dementia. Aggression, wandering, yelling, asking repetitive questions, and more. But we need to realize that these aren't things that they're choosing to do just to be difficult. These are expressions of unmet needs. They're your loved one's way of saying that something isn't right, and they can't do so like you or I would. In 11 years in this line of work, I've seen many people with dementia that have been labeled aggressive, but I've never once seen one of them walk up and hit somebody for no reason. Anytime somebody's been struck, we can look back and see that there was something leading up to it. A caregiver got too close, tried to rush through something, or made them feel trapped. And the resident solved that problem the only way that they knew how. We have to have empathy for them. We need to step into their shoes and understand how frustrating and confusing and scary that it must be for them. We need to feel for the loss of control that they're experiencing, of not being able to do the things that you and I take for granted, like driving, organizing their day, being part of various social groups, or even taking care of themselves. We need to honor who they really are, as they were before the disease, and understand there will be changes in personality, behavior, and interests. We need to be flexible, empathetic, and creative in our care and communication. We need to fill in the gaps in our loved ones' brains. And in those frustrating moments, we need to remember that it's the disease doing this, not the person. In our next lesson, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into this and understanding what you can do to prepare to be a caregiver. See you there.